About 19 years ago, my mom found this guy who was charming and attractive and young, and he proposed, and she said yes. But while they were engaged, he began to abuse her, so she called off the wedding and the engagement. And during a very short period of time, she went to the doctor and they found a tumor in her breast, and so they removed it, and her arm was in a sling. And that day he came over, very angry and upset, and he was banging on the door, and he bounded in the room, and he was yelling at her, and she was trying to reason with him, but he wouldn't listen. And so, still furious and in some other state, he beat her and raped her. And a few weeks later, my mom found out that she was pregnant, and she had been told by her friends that they'll support her decision in whatever she decides, but that an abortion would probably be the best decision. I don't know, who would want to raise someone that you didn't want in the first place? So here I am. And when I was 6, we moved out into our apartment alone, just me and my mom. But I noticed that she began to be very depressed and just angry all the time. And so when I was 7, I was in the kitchen, and I remember that I dropped something on the floor and it broke. And I just remember that was she just snapped, and that was the first time that I heard her say things like that I was unlovable and that I was stupid, and that no one would ever accept me, and that everything was my fault. It just became a routine, and after that long, you begin to believe it. And when I was 14, I kind of went into alcohol. I fell into depression because I found out that my mom was raped. Not because she told me, but because I kind of figured it out. My grandma told me. When I found out, it's kind of like the world stops, and everything just made a lot of sense to me. Just the abuse and the hatred and the feeling of being unwanted, it all made sense. And so I felt very unworthy. Like, of course, like, now I would hate me too. So during this depression, we had changed churches by then, and I found this church who embraced me they just embraced me fully. And I have friends now, but I still didn't know what it was all about. And so then I went to China on my first mission trip, and it really changed my life. Needless to say that we were not the same when we left. We were completely changed. At least I was. I can speak for myself. But when I got back to America, it was like this. My eyes had been opened, and it was like a wake-up call. Like get off your feet. Do something now. And I came back, and my relationship with Christ grew, and I began to see more and more how God's the Father to the fatherless, and how He brings beautiful things out of the dust. And I know that God's will for me and His plan for my life is so, so good. His love is so vast and immense. My mom became a Christ follower too, and so yeah, there's just proof that God can take something that's horrible and seemingly so awful and transform it into something beautiful and good and for a purpose. And that's what I found, that I have a purpose in God's plan, and that He's going to keep harvesting His glory through me, I hope, and that I'm going to see miraculous things and experience the expansion of His kingdom, and that's His promise.